Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're doing well, and in this video we have a brand new update for the Rey Skywalker New Jedi Order movie. Of course, we're going to go ahead, we're going to break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from CBR.com, comic book resource. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source. So Disney Ridley is set to lead yet another Star Wars film as Rey Skywalker, of course, that there having been confirmed in an official announcement at Star Wars Celebration last year of 2023, the New Jedi Order movie by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy taking on the directing role of this project. The project will be set roughly 10 to 15 years after the events of the sequel trilogy, ending with the rise of Skywalker, of course, as Rey Skywalker looks to rebuild the Jedi Order, essentially. So the upcoming project will be part of the Skywalker saga technically, but it will also serve as a jumping off point for Star Wars moving forward, is kind of the way that it's also been described. Per industry insider, the reputable source Daniel Richman himself, Daisy Ridley's Star Wars film is scheduled to begin filming this September of 2024. Now, in my previous update here into the regards of the New Jedi Order movie for the Rey Skywalker movie here, of course, Daniel Richman and other sources were kind of a bit worried about this and kind of saying that, like, it doesn't look like it's actually even going to start production or filming at all this year, and that it will begin filming in production in early 2025. It would still be on track either way for its December of 2026 release, but even then fans were getting skeptical that it would also be kind of like delayed from there, and kind of like repeating that unfortunate Star Wars film, whatever you want to call it. Just Star Wars movies in the last 5-6 years at this point, ever since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, just haven't ever gotten off the ground. They just don't ever really go anywhere. They don't ever start filming or get up to the production point. So of course, now hearing that it is looking like they're going to start production and filming still within this year, 2024, just sometime around September, is honestly, it's a very good, I think, thing just to look forward to, and a very good sign for this project that it is still on track and that it is still looking to release. Other rumors, of course, earlier this year were saying that it was actually supposed to actually already be in production and filming this summer, like now, June, July, or even August here, of course. But, you know, seeing that they maybe are pushing it back until September to really get all that pre-pro work done, have this final script and this final story completely 110% really sorted out, having a lot of the casting roles filled actually and everything of that nature, is something very prominent and something that needs to be really sorted out and really finalized and very much so kind of planned out, very much so. The industry scooper and insider Daniel Richman also reveals that the film will cast a lot of new young adult leads. The word leads in the sense that he's using in Richman's report may indicate that these characters could also take on a life of their own moving forward, maybe in their own projects, Disney Plus shows, Disney Plus specials, or even movies, possibly even outside of the Skywalker saga or without the Rey Skywalker character. By which of what we have also heard is that if this New Jedi Order movie performs to Disney's and Lucasfilm's likings, is that they would want to supposedly move forward with a whole new trilogy, giving this like a second installment and a third installment, of course. So there would also be room there for these quote-unquote leads to also take in some screen time there and take on some more story narrative and really have those characters as the leads instead of like Rey Skywalker. That's a common thing that I've seen, even for people that do like the character of Rey Skywalker from the sequel trilogy, is that kind of the idea that they look at is like, okay, she had her trilogy with the sequels and she doesn't really need like another one, essentially, is kind of what people are getting at. Like, they're kind of sick of seeing her, and that goes both ways, as I had mentioned, people that do and don't like her necessarily as a character. Daisy Ridley had made her Star Wars debut in 2015's Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. It was the first Star Wars film since the release of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, all the way back in 2005, which saw Hayden Christensen's Anakin face off against his master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, by Ewan McGregor on Mustafar, and ultimately turn into the feared Darth Vader. The Force Awakens has introduced Daisy Ridley's character of Rey, along with several other now iconic members of the Star Wars franchise. with that in itself of the sequel trilogy set 30 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. So Rey's story seems to be continuing on here. What can we anticipate, plot detail wise, kind of into that regard for the new Jedi Order movie? Of course, for those of you that have followed the channel, follow really any Star Wars scoops and news of that nature, of course, we just don't really know anything about this movie aside from the aforementioned, what I had kind of mentioned at the beginning of this video, the fact that this is set about 10-15 years after the events of the Skywalker saga, or the sequel trilogy with the Rise of Skywalker, and for the fact that Rey is coming back to kind of create and build up her own Jedi Academy and her own Jedi Order, essentially. Hence its working title, New Jedi Order. That's also something that I would like to clarify, is that this whole idea of New Jedi Order isn't something that's 110% like solidified or concrete. Like, it's more or less really just a working title, but even then, I think it's something that Star Wars and Lucasfilm should and would want to go with, because that's just kind of like how it's known, I think, at this point. Set 30 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens follows Rey, a scavenger who's become an ally of the Resistance. She's found by Finn, played by John Boyega, a former First Order stormtrooper who deserts his posts and joins the Resistance pilot Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac. Together, along with Han Solo, the ragtag group of intergalactic outcasts set out to find Luke Skywalker, who had been missing for years up until this point. Along the way, they encounter Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver, a dark side Force user, taking on a red lightsaber with a really cool crossguard. Kylo is revealed to be Han Solo's son with Leia Organa, and when the two have a father-son reunion, Driver's character drives his lightsaber through Harrison Ford's Han Solo, of course, as we already all know. Point being is that a lot of people are kind of spectacle and also hoping for and thinking that a lot of these sequel trilogy characters like John Boyega, like Oscar Isaac, like Adam Driver would also all make a return for the new Jedi Order movie here as well, with Rey Skywalker. The Force Awakens has spawned its own trilogy of films, the sequel trilogy, of course, so maybe having tidbits and references or short cameo appearances of many of those characters as well is something that a lot of fans out there would like to see. Now, this new Jedi Order movie technically isn't Episode X or Episode 10, but as I had mentioned also at the beginning of this video, it's something that's kind of connected to the Skywalker saga in a way and in a fashion, but not 110%, like really solidified, like working as an Episode 10 essentially. It's rumored to be titled New Jedi Order, as I had mentioned. We'll see Rey founding a new Jedi Academy of her own and take on the tasks of training new younglings in the ways of the Force. The film will be directed by Academy Award winner Charmin Obich-Noy, with a script by Peaky Blinders Stephen Knight, the writer. All of this here being said though, however, guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.